What's up, my beautiful people? Stay tuned after the intro. How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Gio, back with another episode of Sports Talk with Giojackson. I got a new mic. Hopefully, it sounds good. Hopefully, it's not too loud. Is it too close to my mouth? Let me know. Pause. 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 But yeah, I got a new mic with a stand, so I don't have to hold it anymore. So hopefully, it's the beginning of my ASMR channel. Stay tuned. But how's everyone's week going? How's everyone doing today on Monday? Monday, start of a new week. Um, what I do this weekend? Well, yesterday was my birthday. 31 years old. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed my time this weekend with my friends. We had a little get together, food, laughs, watched some UFC. Yesterday, had some friends over, burgers. We watched, which we'll get into, obviously the Mexico USA game. Uh, Watched the movie and had a swell of a time, enjoying this new era of 30s, 31. Still feel, like I said, like a big kid, like I'm still 15. Um, I can do kid things that I wanted to do when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I'm able to do it. I'm able to get what I want, enjoy. So 31, I'm here. But let's get into the show. So obviously yesterday, uh, Mexico, what do we say? But for USA, their chant, even though very controversial chant going on in the game at the end of the game, but Dos a cero, Dos a cero. USA defeats Mexico 2-0 for the CONCACAF, whatever cup they're going on. They've won it 3 times in a row. And the last 7 games against Mexico, the USA has come on top, and Mexico hasn't been able to beat them for a while. My thoughts on the game, man. I mean, obviously, what a banger from Adams for the first goal. Felt like Ochoa could have done a little bit more. Maybe it's time for Ochoa. Maybe his father time is upon him. But man, congrats to Team USA. They played amazing. They just have a better team, better structure. It was crazy. I think only 2 players on that squad, which I don't think they even played or started playing the MLS. The rest play in Europe. Obviously, they have Pulisic, Gio Reyna, man, sorry, freaking Serginho Dest looked like prime Dani Alves yesterday. He was doing work. They just have a stacked team. They play well together. They've been playing well together for a while. And to steal from friend of the show, Bani, I believe he said that the best thing that happened to that USA team was not going to Russia 2018. They had a game plan, which is in 2 years for 2026 to have a competitive team. And I feel like they're on the road, to build that and to actually, hopefully, as an American myself now, obviously always been American, but obviously my roots, the Mexico national team will always have a special place in my heart. Always, growing up in the Mexican household, you just feel those colors more. But man, the USA team, I feel like they're good. Come USA about to win 10 of those national leagues before Mex wins one at this rate, correct? 10 forwards, 10 forwards. How's the mic, guys? Let me know. Alberto, does it sound good? Nene, let me know. I messed with some settings, so hopefully it's loud and clear. I can hear it picks up noise well, or if I do this, so I got to be close. Pause. But yeah, I mean, that USA team looked great. Um, like I mentioned, well, one thing I wanted to say is USA. You know, Growing up, we heard Mexico, El Grande de la Concacaf. Um, being the big bad, the one that would go far in World Cups, will Copa Americas. See what you guys said. Mike is good. The cut is clean too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. got a cut for the birthday. But USA, I believe, is the new grande of the CONCACAF. Like I said, they've been handling it to Mexico. I guess all they need is to beat Mexico in the Azteca. They got a tie a couple years ago, but like just top to bottom, compare the Mexico team to the USA team. Right now, the Mexico team, it's it's a lot of the old guard. They need a new batch of players, and I feel like I don't know, I don't see a new batch coming up. Um, Chucky, he's already late 20s, pushing to his 30s. Um, I think the only one would be Edson Alvarez. I feel like he's probably right now, because he does get some playing time in West Ham, and I think he's a great midfielder. I think he's one of our better players. Same with Santi Jimenez, which we'll get into later. But other than that, man, I mean, Henry Martin, like, come on, bro. Like, I don't see it in him. I don't see what's the fascination with Henry Martin when we have Santi Jimenez right there, top scorer for his team, Feyenoord. Um, he's having a great season over there, and he's young. Why wouldn't you want to, you know, get his confidence up for Mexico? This is going to be your striker for like the next 10 years. Why not start giving him that, you know, that, that responsibility, that, to put his team on his back? I need to mute this, but you have him, like, build around him, make a team around him, make him feel wanted, because obviously the first game they didn't even use him. Yesterday they put him in, I guess, as just like a, let's see what you can do. Game was pretty much over, and I feel like he lacks confidence. He lacked confidence. He didn't play well, and it was tough. It was tough to watch the Mexico team. They had no creativity, no, I don't know what they were doing. Their game plan. At least if you're gonna lose, I want to see you, lose trying, with something, man. And I don't get the Antuna. I still don't get the Antuna. He does the same thing. Chucky had an awful game. Midfield was lost. I think, like I said, Ochoa, Father Time is here. I think he's still one of the best Mexican goalkeepers of all time. I'll take him over Osvaldo. But there needs to be a lot of change. And I feel like with Mexico, there will never be that change. The people that make the money, the the TV, companies, Televisa, I guess they're the ones that, my dad was talking about it. They're the ones that control La Selección. They, I guess, choose what players they want to promote in La Selección. Henry Martin plays for America. America is owned by Televisa. We got Quinones. I think Quinones is good. I think, he would fit well with Santi. So no fault there. But if, the TV companies are the ones deciding what players should play, what players should go, then we're still going to be in that same spot that Mexico's been for many years. Not even passing the fifth game. At this point, we not even might get out of group stages. So there needs to be a change. Then if they really care about winning something, if it's about money, I mean, if they go anywhere in the USA, that stadium's going to be packed. It doesn't matter if they suck or not. Mexican fans, they come out to support. Yesterday, Cowboy Stadium. It is the US. We all know who the home team is, unfortunately, but um, it won't change. It won't change unless they stop making World Cups and the money stops. But if they really wanted to be a better team, invest in the youth, play the best players that we got in their positions and roll with them. But I don't know if those changes will need to be made, which is what led to, like as I was mentioning earlier, the changes in American soccer was, I believe, not making it to that 2018 World Cup. They invested in their youth, and now this youth is touching their prime. They're all, going to go to this World Cup, mid-20s, early 20s, playing in Europe, and, playing well in Europe. Obviously, Pulisic, big fan, old Chelsea player, but in Milan, he's playing well. Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, obviously he's been injured, but I think he's one of probably their best midfielder. I don't know where Serginho Des is playing right now, but man, like he played yesterday, he played good. Then you got their left back. I believe he plays in the Premier League. He's tall, fast. He's good. Their goalkeeper, reliable. Defense, I'm not sure about the defense, but they have good strikers. They got Balogun. They got a couple good strikers up there. They got a midfielder from Milan. So man, their team's it's stacked. It's stacked. And then the young players coming up, obviously. Cade Cowell, if he keeps playing well in Mexico, he could be another star coming up. So USA, they're doing a great job. They're doing a great job. And like I said, I feel like when the World Cup comes in 2 years, I don't know. I don't know if they'll win it, but they'll make some noise, I feel. Mexico needs to play passion con huevos. That's playing in PSV. Yeah, man, like he looking like Serginho Dest. He that name of Serginho fit well yesterday. He was doing them dirty. Um, but yeah, I mean Mexico, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't know who's coming up in the Mexico team right now of the younger players. Like I said, there's Edson, Luis Chavez. I think he's still good. Chucky, he might give you one last hurrah. Like I said, he's not, I didn't, ever since he scored that goal from Germany, he's had flashes in Napoli and now he's back in PSV. But I don't know. The spark just has lost with him. He's one of my favorite players, obviously. Pachuca, born and raised there. But I feel like this team needs to pause. Santi Jimenez, he's our top scorer. Build him up. Or else, he's in the pull of Vela and be like, you know what? Why am I going to waste my time? Why did I fly, to USA from Europe to not play the first game, play like 20 minutes? It's a waste of his time. He could have been gotten better over there, helping the team, maybe, potentially playing well enough. I think, he's going to earn the move to a bigger team in Europe. He's tall. He's a number 9. And that's the thing. I feel like he's a number 9. And yesterday they were playing him on the wing. Like, that's not his position. He's not going to play well. And we're getting started in the game. And dude, Henry Martin, the whole game, I didn't even know he was playing. All he does is just chase balls against the defenders. Like, I don't know what I thought Jimmy Lozano was going to bring this change, but it's maybe it's not his fault. Maybe, you get in there and then you figure out, man, the ones pulling the strings, it's out of my hands. He redeemed himself after his last outburst. Gio Reyna, yeah, that's true. Time to follow the women's national team. Yep, go Kitchen. Kate Cowell coming up. He is. Mexico women's and Barca women's playing. Always with the digs. I like it, Alberto. I like it. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Mexico women's team, hey, they played well. They played well. USA is still king in the women's. But yeah, honestly, ever since FIFA brought women into, ever since EAFC brought women in there, they're not bad, especially in FIFA. They're if you play them as left and right backs, their speed, is very useful. Sadly, nothing is going to change because the ones in charge only care about profit, not winning games. Exactly, that's all they care about, and that's how it's been my whole life growing up and seeing it. Before they used to be Los Juegos Moleros over here, because we still come out and support. So the fans are still unfortunately, the fans are gonna come out and support. For us that live in the US, when Mexico plays at Levi's or somewhere close, we're gonna go because we don't see, it's not easy for us to see them. And if you notice, they tend to play more in the US than in Mexico. When's the last time? Unless it's eliminatorias, well, an amistoso in Mexico, it's always over here. The profits here, and which brings me into this into a Bunny topic that Bunny didn't ask because he always says he always talking about the Niners, but same with the Cowboys. If we talk about the Cowboys, I feel like Jerry Jones, all he cares about is profit, and what's going to be good for profit is building up a dream to the Cowboys fans, telling them this is our year. The fans will support. They'll get hype. The Cowboys start winning games. Dak Prescott, MVP. But once they get to the playoffs, they lose. and then you start all over again. And Jerry Jones keeps making that money. Jerry Jones is happy just making money, making money. Same with Chelsea right now. They still make money. They don't care about winning. If Jerry Jones actually wanted the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl, you know what? I take a step behind. I let them play, as I believe Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. He says they take a step back. And I agree with them. And let the face of the franchise be the quarterback, not Jerry Jones. But until then, it's not going to happen. We'll not talk about my Niners. We're there with the Cowboys. We haven't won anything in 30 years. Why you got to bring my boys into it? Hold on, buddy. I got you. How about them Cowboys? Because you say I always talk about the Niners, so let's talk about the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they bring the views too. There's a lot of Cowboys fans in this world, right, Dak Prescott? Yeah. Here we go. Hey, George, that is you. There we go, George. Money talks. Money does talk. I used to watch that show, 613. But we'll keep moving on. We talked about this. What changes would you do to the Mexico national team? It just got to be from, the top. It has to start from the top. It has to be people that actually want, the national team to win games, to win tournaments, to pass this. Let's stop talking about al quinto juego. Let's talk about winning it, because if your goal is to win it, you're going to pass that fifth game. But if their pockets are good, and then there's Mexico as a country as well. If the pockets are, everyone's corrupt over there. The pockets are good. Doesn't matter if they win or lose, as long as they get the money, the sponsorships. But I think investing in the youth, not being so stingy on their players, sending them to Europe early, even if they don't get any profit from it. Obviously, there's a monopoly in Mexico with, if you're a top Mexican player, they want to sell you for the most money. European teams are like, I can get an Argentinian, a Colombian, a Brazilian for cheaper. That's going to be better. So Mexico gotta start, exporting their product out in Europe so they can improve, actually, make the team better. Send more players to Europe, of course. Coyul for coach. Coyul always for coach. Not for ref though, but for coach. So you can make you this turn. Santi Jimenez. I feel bad for Santi. Like I said, I don't know what the coaches, even some fans, they don't believe in Santi Jimenez. I believe in him. I feel like what he's doing in Europe can translate to us. Like I said, yesterday he was playing winger. Like that's not what he plays. I feel like he's an aerial threat. He's going to be deadly inside the box. And I feel like that's what Mexico needs to play him. I feel like if they can put him as the 9, put someone, of Quiñones, I feel like he would suit him to play behind Jimenez and Chucky. If Chucky's on his best, I know Tony you didn't like, but I still think they could still do some damage. That I think like that would be a good front 3. Edson and Luis Chavez in the midfield, one defensive. Luis Chavez a little bit more creative. Maybe I know they put there's a smaller midfielder too. I think the midfield could be I think it's good. Defense, Mexico's defense, it's pretty solid. You got the guy that plays also in, I think he still plays in Ajax. And then they still have Gallardo. He's getting a little older, but there's things they can work on, and just hopefully, a younger player steps up. There's like I said, I feel like Santi, if played right, he could be good. Santi whack. Chicharito would have done more yesterday. Chicharito old, bro. He washed. It was great. One of the best Mexican strikers, but like in life, it's time to move on. It's time to let it go, man. Thank you, Chicharito, for everything you've done for us, for the many memories. But I think it's Santi's team, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think it's him. What other striker? I mean, like I said, let's stop the Henry Martin thing. he's not gonna have this renaissance like Oribe Peralta had. Like, stop, Mean Girls. Stop trying to make Santi happen. I mean, sorry, Henry Martin happen. It's not gonna happen. He ain't fetch. Now, obviously, we gotta talk a little bit about the Niners. Today is the owners meeting. So all basically it's said in Orlando, everyone who's everyone in the NFL, GMs, coaches, owners, they're in this. It's basically their get together. They talk rules, but it's really they're over there partying. But there's a lot of news that comes out. Obviously, a big news is the hip tackles. They're banning the hip tackles for defenders. There's been a lot of injuries because of it. Going full speed, you tackle someone from the hip. Pollard got injured like that. A couple players, I think, the tight end for the Ravens got injured like that. So they're banning that, which makes it tough on defenders. Now, how are they supposed to defend? They can't hit you in the head. If they go for the legs, that's ACL. They got a small window to hit going top speed. So it's going to be obviously the NFL wants the league to be more offensive, more points, more entertaining. So, we'll see how that affects games going forward. That's one rule. Another rule I think they're still voting on is for kickoffs. I believe for the touchback to be further up. I think it's at the 25. I think they said to the 30 now. So it's going to incentivize, teams to, run it out of the end zone because, or, for more, I guess action, instead of kneeling and, starting from the 25, or I think they're moving it back. I'm not sure, but there's that rule. But obviously, John Lynch, our general manager, spoke today. He said, there's constant communications with Brandon Ayuk. We're working on, a deal. We want him to be a Niner forever, blah, 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 blah. Brandon Ayuk goes on Instagram and basically says, money talks. All the other things are BS. Basically, like, if the money's good, I'm going to sign. If not, I'm going to walk. But what kind of options does Brandon Ayuk have? Santi is the future. Not his fault. The ones in charge obsessed with Martin. I agree. Never gave Mori a full shot. He watched too, bro. Mori was mid. So Brandon Ayuk. Oh, one thing that I forgot is John Lynch. He also mentioned, they're willing, to let Brandon Ayuk play on this fifth option, which is fifth year option is since he was a first round pick. First round picks, they get a 5-year contract, but the fifth year is optional to be picked up. Obviously, if you're good, they're going to pick it up because, it saves the team a lot of money. They don't have to pay you the big contract. They could have you one more year, but the player still gets paid a lot. Brandon Ayuk will still make 14 million, but it's a 1-year contract with 14 million. He wants more security. He wants the bag, the more years. He's young. He's had an amazing season last season, being, you could say not even the first option. Our first option was CMC. He wants the bag. And then he saw a couple of years what Debo did, requesting a trade. Debo got the bag, and obviously now that contract looks pretty bad for us. Debo hasn't produced how he should produce. He had that 1 year where he was amazing. He's been injured, out of shape. So we'll see where this saga leads. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another DeForest Buckner where, they end up trading Brandon Ayuk, because they don't want to pay because obviously Brock Purdy's contract's coming up next year. The Niners, like I said, they've had bad contracts on their books. They're top heavy. There's a lot of players that they've paid that, now they got to start paying that bill. In the NFL, what happens is, when you see this big contract, right, 100 million, whatever, guaranteed, the first couple of years, they're not paying that. They pay it on the back end, for them to build their roster. So the Niners right now, Kittle, Warner, they're still going to pay Armstead, Debo. All those contracts are now, it's time to pay up. So the Niners, they're kind of strapped for cash. But the owner could still pay it. He could still pay it off pocket and pay Ayuk. Honestly, I don't feel bad for a billionaire. Pay the money. He's a great player. He's young. He's, he could be our best offensive weapon. He's our best receiver on the team. But we'll see where the saga goes. Does Ayuk want the Justin? I don't think he wants the Justin Jefferson back because let's be real. Ayuk is, I think he's a great receiver, but he's not Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson wants 30 million plus a year. I think Ayuk wants to start off at 25. That's what Debo got. He would probably settle between 27, 28 a year. And I don't think the Niners want to pay him that much. And I feel like the Niners think they could get a lot for him that could help build our team. O line, we can draft a younger receiver, have another 5 years, see where that goes. But we see how Kyle Shanahan is with our receivers. Brandon Ayuk, I feel like he's always played well, hard worker. I've gone to training camps. He's probably the best player on the field. And he was still put in this doghouse his first couple years. Basically, he had to prove to Kyle Shanahan that he's that type of player. And he probably has some resentment because he's felt like he's always showed up in shape, done everything right, never complained, has produced with only being sometimes the third, fourth option. He wants his bag. It's like you're at a job, you're doing everything right, you're following the company motto, never complain, show up on time to work. You see your lazy coworker get a raise, and you're like, I want a raise too. And they're like, oh, we just paid him. I don't know if we can pay you. You're going to start seeing your options. So it will suck. I want Ayuk to stay on the team. Like I said, I think he's worth the money, but not Justin Jefferson money. That's different. One of the questions you guys gave, I feel like, the money Niners, but big question for me personally. 49ers without Greenlaw in the next Super Bowl. Obviously, I believe today came reports that Greenlaw will most likely miss the season opener. He might be put on PUP, which would mean he misses the first 4 games. I believe he'll be back mid-season, but honestly, the road to the Super Bowl for the Niners this season, it gets harder. Last year, I felt was, ours for the taking. The NFC was pretty weak. This year, the Lions are going to be way better. Packers are going to be better. Even their own division, the Rams, we'll see how Seattle does. But, it's going to be tougher. We're an aging team. Last year, we were pretty lucky on injuries. But, man, if Brock Purdy, can step up and, even have a better season, then, we'll always be in the mix. We'll always be in the mix. We still have amazing players. But I think even if Greenlaw was on our team fully healthy, it's going to be tough to go back to a Super Bowl. But we'll see. Time will tell. So, as I mentioned earlier, yesterday was my birthday, 31. And my good friend said, now that you are 31, in his message, he put 35, but I'm 31, guys. I'm not 35 yet. What is a goal you're looking forward to achieve? So, obviously, 31, not getting any younger. You got to start thinking about the future. Big changes have been happening in my life, the past couple months. Next week, I start a new job. I'm excited for that. That's going to be my motivation to get back to where I want to be. And right now, as cliche as it sounds, my goal for the next couple months is, just to focus on me, improve my mental health, improve my physical health, be in a better spot. Further down the line, the next couple of years, another goal is to buy a home with my family, be able for them to be good. And then from there, grow this, the podcast, the show, be better about this as well, improve. I made improvements today with the mic, but just better myself, the way I speak, the topics, that you guys, thank you guys always for bringing the topics, but me also thinking of topics, the guests that I'm going to have, how I want the shows to play out, and see, if I'm able to put 200% into this, where I can go with it. Obviously, right now it's a hobby. It's great, the little community that, that comes support every week, the banter, sometimes, it's like, like I said, we were at lunch in Sequoia just talking different things. And so it's great. So that's my goals coming up. I want to make short goals because I feel like then you can achieve them. Because if you put this big goal and then, as you go through it and you're like, damn, it's so daunting, you don't get there. So if you put little small goals, eventually, you're going to achieve the big goal that you want to do. But It's time for reflection, for new wisdom, reconnecting with family, with spending time with friends, but most importantly, spending time with myself, and being a better person every day. That's my goals. You all, I know that part. You only cover half the topics I share, JK. I do. I feel like I get all your topics. You only send in one question this week. Sorry if I miss out, Alberto. But I know I try to cover all your topics. Your family over everything. Foe. I see it. You don't think I see it? You rat. I know you're kidding, but foe. But thank you guys again. You know, we it's gonna we're gonna get better this week. I'm filming 2 podcasts. Should be good ones. Tomorrow's, a good friend of mine, Ashley. So it's gonna be a lot of women beliefs, women perspectives on things, right? I know usually this is sports, and I've had a lot of male guests, so it'll be good. Good to hear the other side, other side of different topics, whatever, and what she got going on. And then Thursday, I'm gonna be filming another one. I'm gonna keep that one a secret. Busy person keeps postponing. Hopefully, this is the week. That one should be good as well. I'm looking forward to that one. And then I got another one brewing up as well. So it should be good. What are some of your top favorite? I got a new sweater on route. What are some of your top favorite birthday memories of all time? One of well, I don't remember, but I would say one that you remember vividly was when I turned 21. Um, we were we took what was it, astronomy, right, at Kenyatta College. It was a Monday night class. It was a great class. I enjoyed it. I would have never thought I would have enjoyed a night class, but we had I think a paper or a project due that night. We finish it. My birthday's on the Monday, so after class, me, Nene, and Alfredo. Shout out Alfredo, wherever you are, Miss. Congratulations! I know you're a father as well. Um, we go to the patio. 21 years old. Finally, Nene's in there. I don't know how you're in there because you're younger, but you got in there somehow. We're not gonna put all your info out there, but yeah, what I remember was probably the first 35 to 40 minutes, and then I don't remember anything. I just remember throwing up Smurf juice, or a lot of splashes, and thank you, Nene and Alfredo, for taking care of me, taking me home. I woke up with vomit on my beard. That one was fun. I also, which other one comes to memory? Oh, the one when I turned 24, the Kobe year, where we went to the Grand, and I got like a hotel with Alexis, Rudy, everyone pregame there, and I feel like everyone had a great time. Definitely, that's a fun one. That was a fun one. And then my sober ones, being sober, enjoying the moment, which have been the current ones. We had the Narcos theme one. That one was fun. Um, Last year was 90s theme, 30 years. That one was fun. Everyone dressing up. But I just like when everyone comes, like this weekend, everyone comes, hangs out, chop it up. I enjoy it. That's what I enjoy. But yeah, those are some of my favorite ones that come to mind. El Teto midterm and celebrate. Oh man, El Teto, he was a character. Top 5 GOAT players, any sport. This one we've talked about with me and my friends, but man, top 5, no order. Messi, Michael Jordan. Mm, I'm gonna try a different sport. Oh, Tom Brady. I went with Rafael Nadal, but you could go Djokovic, but I'm going Rafael Nadal. And for baseball, I'm gonna go my boy Barry Bonds. I know a lot of people they hate steroids, blah, blah blah, but in that era, everyone was doing steroids, and from all of those, he was the best one. So, you got to put Barry up there. But for sure, I mean, Messi, Michael Jordan. I mean, I'm just gonna put MJ because it's MJ. Even though I'm trying to put people that I've watched, but MJ's different, man. He a different breed. The mentality. He never lost a final. He won three, left the sport, came back, won another three. Messi was there to say greatest player of our generation. Um, Ronaldo too, but like I said, I got a bias to Messi. He won the World Cup. He's up there now compared with Pelé and Maradona. When you get that World Cup, you're in a different atmosphere now. Rafael Nadal winning in different terrains in tennis. Um, and I just feel like he was always good. There's Federer, I know. There's Djokovic, I know. But my guy's always been Nadal, Barry Bonds, as I mentioned, and Tom Brady. 7 Super Bowls, 2 different teams. That's the GOAT, the standard. Maybe one, maybe Mahomes could get there. I feel like, he has 3. He's still young. He probably got another 15 to 10 years. I think he gets another 2 for sure. People that are missing out on different other sports. You got John Jones. You have Muhammad Ali. But I guess people that I've watched, I would put up there. I mean, you got to say Mayweather, even though if you don't like his style. But the point of boxing is not to get hit, and he was the best at that. Canelo, but lately Canelo has been pissing me off. But you got to give him his respect. There's different sports, and I see the comments now. Let's see. People are gonna get mad. Wayne Gretzky, just by the numbers, even Wayne Gretzky. You've never watched baseball, just stats. Khabib, nah. Michael Phelps, that's a good one. La Parca, Eddie Guerrero, that's a goat. You know that. Stone Cold. Um, we were talking about this yesterday, Bonnie. I'm gonna do this one. Top 5 WWE superstars of all time. So for me, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero. This was a time, right, where there wasn't, as cliche as it sounds, but Mexican American. This is our first person that he's like us, Mexican American. Viva la raza, the lowriders, the lie, we cheat and steal. He shaped a lot of our childhoods. He, you know, man, obviously at that time you don't know it's fake, but being there, I was there when he won the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar. No Way Out, Cal Palace. Because at that time, you got to remember, Brock Lesnar was beating everyone. Everyone. He was beating everyone. He hadn't lost. And you're like, man, I don't know if Eddie can do it, but I'm gonna believe, he's one of mine. He's my people. And when he did it, and the way he did it, lie, cheating, and steal, he got the belt, hit him, did the frog splash on him. Goldberg comes in, spears Brock Lesnar. He wins it with everyone right there, the Bay Area, the Mexican flags. That's probably one. I think last week was the best like sporting event you've gone. I forgot that one. Got to be one of my top ones. So Eddie's up there. The Rock. I've always been a big Rock fan. Um, that was my favorite wrestler. The Undertaker. That's a goat. Who am I missing? Stone Cold. He got to be up there. Missing one. I was a big Jeff Hardy fan as well. WWF. Big Jeff Hardy fan. The Hardy Boys. I see them there. The Dudley Boys. Me and Tony. Bubba and what was it? Bubba and Ray, right? I forgot. But man, the tables, ladders, and chairs, Hardy Boys, man, that era of WWE, Kurt Angle, amazing time, Mankind. I wish I can go back to those times. Those are amazing times. The games, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. Booker T, yep, five-time WCW champ. Um, we'll move on. It got dark quick, but anyways, what are 3 things you do to not stress out? I tend to live my life with this motto: it is what it is. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you can do that. It is what it is. But I feel like it takes the power away from letting it affect you if you just say it is what it is. It is what it is. F it. You know. So that's one. Working out is another one. All that build up stress you have, you hit the weights, cardio, you hit the bag, you're able to de-stress and laughing, hanging out with your friends, chopping it up, saying, dumb things. That takes the stress away. So I think those are the three things. Now, the three bad habits that I used to have that obviously one was drinking, overeating. Sometimes when you're stressed out, you see the Oreos. Those are bad, but the good ones, I feel like working out is a big one. It takes a lot of stress away. Having that mentality, it is what it is. So whenever you're stressed out, just say it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. What do you think of the new trend of candy, American candy with chamoy, like Gushers, gummy bears? Do you think it's good? I think it's amazing, man. I love Gushers, and when you have like chamoy or Lucas on it, man, it makes it 10 times better. The gummy bears, the worms, the mango one too, and it comes in like that. It looks like a weed bag, but it's a black bag right here at the corner store that I live by. They deadly, bro. They deadly. I enjoy them. I think it mixes well. I like it a lot. Bad for you, yes, but I do like it. From how you're wording this question, I feel like Bonnie, you might be against it, or do you like it as well? But I like it. I think it's a. I like it a lot. Another Bonnie question. Thank you, Bonnie, again. My favorite question asker. What movie would you like a sequel to? Ooh, it's a good question, but I feel like some movies are meant to have one movie and just leave it at that. Maybe, okay. How about this? Maybe they should make Titanic 2. But the movie premise is, billionaire. Hear this premise: a billionaire. You know, his goal is to see the Titanic, how it looked, right? So he builds a submarine controlled by an Xbox controller, and he gathers. And the thing is, he gathers other billionaires that want to seek adventure and joy, and they go deep below, to the bottom of the ocean. And the premise is, will they make it back up to shore? That would be a good sequel, I feel. Pass. Snakes on Plane 2. Snakes on Plane 2, Spirit Edition. That's a go. I mean, that's kind of Soul Plane 2. Is there a Soul Plane 2? I don't know, Bonnie. I don't know. I feel like all the movies that I wanted a sequel have a sequel. Um, like I said, that's like a 3-minute sequel. um, let's think. Like, for example, the Grinch 2, Los Grinchitos. Bro, it's out there on YouTube. If you know, you know. We could make a part two. Now that you actually, you don't have your 30th daughter, but you have your first. Shout out. Shout out my niece. I love you. Thank you for coming and supporting my birthday. I appreciate it. Baby Hema. The Grinch 2. But you see, like you don't need to make The Grinch 2. The Grinch is a perfect movie on its own. Like if you think about all the good movies, right? Inception, you can just leave it at that. You leave your mind thinking, did the thing stop spinning or is it still spinning? Are we still in a dream or not? Maybe Roadhouse 2. I just watched Roadhouse with Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal, amazing actor. Um, McGregor, he was just a little over the top, but it's a good movie. I mean, it's not a good movie, but it's a good movie to watch and enjoy. It's funny. But the fight scenes were kind of weird. But I got a topic. I watched the movie yesterday. We'll get into it. Sorry, Bonnie, I didn't get this, but Stone Cold Goldust, Scotty Too Hottie, Billy Gunn, aka Mr. Ass. Mr. Ass, that sounds like Tony because he's ass at everything. Can you see McGregor in a serious movie where he's not too extra? Nah, bro. I feel like they're gonna use him in that role. Shutter Island too, bro. Nah, no way. That's disrespecting that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. Like, how can you make a part two? That, like I said, it leaves you thinking, is that spoiler alert, it leaves you thinking if Leonardo DiCaprio's character actually did get cured or if he's still as crazy, because with that little quote he says at the end, I don't remember from the top of my head, but basically saying, is it more heroic to keep living like this or die a monster, something like that, which makes you think, damn, is he actually conscious that, of what he did? That's a great movie. Sorry, back to Tony. I don't see him, man. I feel like he did over the top. Yeah, I feel McGregor can be in some Expendables 10 with old ass Arnold. Yeah, but I don't see. I mean, can you imagine him in like Shutter Island, Conor McGregor, or um, I don't see it. But I think McGregor. I think the UFC. I don't think he's into that anymore. He's made a lot of money. Maybe he wants to get into acting. But then wait 20 years. Oops. And the movies are then they wait 20 years and the movies are whack. They should just start making, which we'll get into. They should start making new movies, new um ideas. I feel like have been the best movies these past couple of years has been something fresh. When Get Out came out, that was something fresh, and you're like, well, what is this? This is amazing. Instead of making remakes or part twos like Dumb and Dumber, 2, or see Happy Gilmore 2, it does not need to be remade. It's okay being its own thing. It's a cult classic. Let's make movies great again. Shout out Donald Trump. But what are you guys think? Do you guys like these remakes, these part twos of older movies? Like, I feel like they should just leave them as it is. Yeah, we have a lot of nostalgia berries, a lot of nostalgia bringing us back. But they're the reason they're good. I agree, George. The reason they're good is because when they came out first. But Top Gun Maverick was actually that's one I do agree, George. That one was good. That one was good. Um, yeah, so I agree. What part twos has been good? Well, obviously, like Empire Strikes Back, the best Star Wars movie of all time. The Dark Knight, best Batman movie of all time. Beetlejuice 2. The one thing I will say with these remakes is it gets a lot of people that haven't watched the original, they watch the original and they get to see, you know, how great the movies are. So that's one, I guess, one positive from it. But Beetlejuice 2, yeah, I mean, if it's good, it's good. But looking at wait, Beetlejuice isn't Disney, right? I don't think so. I was gonna say, but looking at Disney's track record lately with all these remakes and wimification of movies, well, we won't get started. But speaking of which, yesterday I watched a great movie, Late Night with the Devil. I'm not much of a scary movie person. I do not like scary movies. But when I saw this trailer for this movie, if you haven't seen the trailer, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the trailer. It piqued my interest. I like these type of movies. It got me like, what's going on? Basically, the premise is shaping a late night talk show. Guy is struggling with ratings, so he's gonna have a Halloween show, with different guests, and let's say just things turn north from there. So I watched it yesterday. It's not that long of a movie as well. I think it was done well. It was what was it called? Film amazing. You feel like you're actually watching a TV show, and then when they cut to break, you actually get to see. They change the from it being colorful, they change it to black and white, so that you're actually not you're watching. I guess you're kind of eavesdropping in people's conversations, and yeah, it gets you thinking, and it's creepy, suspenseful. I enjoyed it. Great time. Definitely a movie I would recommend, and you should go watch. I'll leave it at that. Don't want to spoil it for anyone. John Wick 2 was good. All John Wicks, actually, those are all amazing. John Wick is an amazing movie premise. I love that too. And it's also what, Bonnie? A different premise to like I guess like a hitman killer movie. Cause it's, when you think about it, it all starts because, obviously he's going spoilers again. he's going through a tough time, and the thing that sets him off is they kill his dog, and that's gonna set off a lot of people. Quiet Place 2. I haven't watched The Quiet Places, so I can't comment on that. But if you say so, one thing about Tony or the Rat, when it comes to music taste, movie taste, I tend to I tend to take his recommendation, with respect because his man knows his movies and his music. But it's still fuck Tony forever. Well, actually, I have a story. Okay. So, like I said, Saturday, we come, my birthday, everyone's here having a great time. Tony pulls up, knocks on the door. I open the door. I say, "What's up, Tony?" Da da da. He says, "Happy birthday." And lo and behold, but it didn't start there. Sorry, let me go like a week back. A week back, he's coming, with the Kansas City Super Bowl beanie. Okay, ha ha ha, so funny, blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your team, you can't use your team Seahawks because they're not even relevant anymore. You gotta use the current champ. It's fine, whatever. Rat tactics. Then the following week, oh, Gio, I got you a lighter. I'm like, bro, I don't smoke or anything. He's like, oh, but I got you a lighter. Kansas City Super Bowl champs. Ha ha ha, so funny. Comes to my birthday, 4-time Super Bowl champ, Kansas City. In the back, all 4 years that they've won it. But very nonchalant. Oh, happy birthday, Gio. Da, da, da. I look at him. I wanted to close the door on him. I wanted to set Rocky on him. But that's the person, that I have to deal with. This is the type of person the Rat is. This is the type of person, that this is what he thrives in. But when it's for him, when his team loses, his thing is, well, I'm actually a Real Madrid fan. I'm actually Cruz Azul now. I don't care. Real Madrid, they won three champions. Seattle, at least I saw Seattle win the Super Bowl in my lifetime. That's the type of person, that he is. But thank you, Tony, for coming and sharing your sweaters with me. I hope you're doing well. He's been a little under the weather, so let's all wish Tony. I hope that you recover. I really do. Great impersonation. The impersonation would be but we'll leave it at that. Now we're getting to I got last two topics, good ones. First one, top 5 Mortal Kombat characters. Let's see. Bro, obviously a big Mortal Kombat fan. Funny story. So growing up as kids, me and shout out, I don't know if my cousin Hyro watches this, but me and my cousin Hyro, we would always fight. And my aunt, shout out Mitiana, love you. She said, you guys need to stop fighting. So she bought us Mortal Kombat, the trilogy one, that the number 3, I think for Sega or for one of those systems. And we would be on it with my cousin Hyro, his sister. And that's how, my love for Mortal Kombat grew. But from there on, obviously, I kept playing it. And around, my senior year, they came out with Mortal Kombat 9. And they brought back, like the 2D style of Mortal Kombat because it had gone to like a 3D style. And now it's like how the original was. And that game story mode. And just it brought the renaissance back to Mortal Kombat. Now, obviously, Mortal Kombat, it's still a great game to play. But it's basically now the story mode. And that's it, So looking forward, if they continue the story mode, it was this game, great story mode. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, if you like to play those type of games, good story mode. I really enjoyed it. It was just too fast, and then that's it. But all right, top 5 Mortal Kombat characters. My number 1 guy has to be Scorpion. That's my favorite Mortal Kombat character. His story, he's a ninja whose clan gets murdered by his rival ninja. But later you find out that it wasn't really his rival. It was actually Quan Chi, a sorcerer that that basically wanted Scorpion to be his minion. So Scorpion dies. He goes to what is hell, which is the nether realm. Quan Chi, makes him what's it called? Basically, he makes him an undead ninja warrior. So he comes back for revenge to kill Sub Zero, who is his mortal enemy, because he believes he killed his whole family. Um, what an amazing backstory. His powers, fire. He get over here, very catchy. That's one. We gotta have Liu Kang, the protector of the Earth realm, the chosen one. You follow his story, and even though he got retcon, you follow his story. He gets killed, but then he gets brought back. But then when they retcon it, he is the chosen one, and then he becomes a fire thunder god, taking over for Raiden. So Liu Kang got to be up there. Raiden, obviously, the god of thunder. For my boy Pepe is Kung Lao, but I was never a Kung Lao fan. Using wise, Noob Saibot, very, very rat character, very OP and very cheap. Who else? I feel like people are hating on me. I wasn't a Sub Zero guy. Uh, who else would I use? From the newer ones, I mean, Cyrax, Sector, they're cool. Kenshi, that's another one that's good. He's good. Blind Swordsman, he's good. You got to throw in Johnny Cage, but I never like using Johnny Cage. Let's see, people who came to play. Kung Lao, favorite character. Cage, Sub Zero, Liu Kang, Quan Chi, Smoke, Kung Lao, Sub Zero, Liu Kang, Reptile, Baraka. Baraka in the new game, very OP, I would say. Very OP, very good. El Jax, Ermac, yes, forgot about Ermac. That's because he was the first ninja. At first, he had like the same skin as Scorpion, Sub Zero, Reptile, and he was red. So I really like Ermac, but Ermac is another. He's basically a collection of fallen warrior souls into one person. That's where the name, I guess, Ermac comes from. But Mortal Kombat, very dear to my heart. Um, I know here there's a bunch of people, that Bani is one, see me at Mortal Kombat. Tony is another one, but Tony, his game is how about this for Tony if you're still here, Super Smash Bros characters. Number one, Kirby. That's my guy, Kirby. Unstoppable. Kirby, I know for Nene Bowser with his that smash when he comes down. Pepe Samus, Tony, he rides all the cheap ones. Giovanni can't get that Ermac, wins off his head. What about favorite MK movies? The first one, the original, that near to dear to my heart. Um, Even the second one, but I mean, now that you watch it older, the second one is kind of crazy. But the first one, man, the intro song, Mortal Kombat, amazing. That's one of the best Mortal Kombat movies. There's only been three, right? I don't know if you guys ever watched, but on YouTube there used to be a YouTube Mortal Kombat series. That one was good as well, but it was very short. Um, but the newer one, a lot of things I did not like. How they made Liu Kang, of course. Spoilers: Kung Lao always gets killed. Um, who the hell's Cole? Who's this guy? Liu Kang is the chosen one. Where's Johnny Cage? But the boy Pam Pam used that work on Bonnie with Pikachu, huh? Ike. Yeah, George, you're still here. I know you a Sub Zero. ¿Cómo se llama? What's the guy that uses the sword? What's his catchphrase? Man, Mario calls him Pikachu for that reason. Cage will be in the second movie. Yeah, I heard is the actor that plays the guy from The Boys, the one with the beard. I don't see him as Johnny Cage. Well, I mean, I'll keep an open mind. He would have fit more as a Kano, I would say. But Mortal Kombat, amazing game. The first movie is amazing. The story is amazing. But back to Smash Bros. Kirby, Bowser, Samus, Fox, El Clay. There you go. There you go. But there's a couple cheap characters. But hey, like I said, I talk a lot of shit about Tony, but he nice with it. But I remember a couple years ago, he was never able to avenge a loss. This guy talk shit, played him online, gave him the work, and Tony had the excuse, "Oh, I'm not using my controllers." And then I've also witnessed Tony lose to this kid. But from the friends, I believe, Tony, he reigns supreme. There's been challengers there. Pepe's will get him some days. And what's crazy with Tony is sometimes he'll say 1v3 and we all try to gang up on him, but he's just good with but he uses characters, that stay far away, that throw projectiles, and that's how he gets you, tiki tag one by one. So the way random, my favorite character mimicking. Lab my eyes off. Random, my favorite character mimicking. I'm stuck there, but we need to bring it back. We used to play Smash Bros on the big screen. I'm down to give Vic the work. I don't know if Vic's watching because I would give him the work with Kirby. I said Vic's another talker and he talks all this crap, da da da, I'm the best at this and that. But when it comes time, he almost gets choked out. That's another story that I'll leave for another time. But we move. We move. Now, my favorite topic to end the night. Thank you guys. An hour 10 here. It's been an amazing show. Rank rank the Fortnite players you currently play with. We'll start there, but I got different rankings too. Um, so the current players that I play obviously my boy Pepe's, Pancho, myself, Javi. He's come back into our life to play video games. Appreciate it. There's Kichi. There's Alexis, who is Pepe's cousin. Shout out Alexis. Shout out Shy Town. Shout out Chirac. Um, but I would say if I had ranked them from best to, I guess, not the best, I would have to put, I think, from what I've seen playing wise, like I said, my opinion, don't get offended. I think Kichi's one. I've seen him do incredible things. He's younger. His reflexes are still there, even though he's a dad. So I put Kichi one. I put Pepe's two. Pepe's is good. He clutches 1v1s. He's better. He's better. Number three, Javi's good. He surprised me. He's good. He nice with it, as Chad Ochocinco would say. Four, then I got to give it to Punch. Also, one thing about Punch is he's playing keyboard and mouse. You got to respect that. So then I would put Alexis, myself, and then the last one. Oh, I left someone out. I forgot. Who did I leave out? I feel like there's someone else that we play with. Hmm. My I must have forgot because he's pretty irrelevant because he never plays. Jeez, what's his name? Huh. Oh well. But yeah, that's my list for the Fortnite group of all time. Of all time, many memories. Many memories. Shout out Ramon. I don't know if you still out there somewhere. Ramon in the atmosphere. Josh, that's his name. I forgot. How can I forget about Josh? Like I said, very confusing when he types. But yeah, I guess Kawich used to be nice with it. He used to be nice with it. Shout out Kawich. But things have changed. Jose, yeah. Um Edwin, the other one, the Sasuks, he was good. And at that time he was way younger too. So like I said, he was about it. Uh but Van's little brother Tino, I heard he nice with it. He nice, but we haven't had a chance to play with him. Nene played with us a couple times. I said Alexis, but Nene played with us a couple times and it didn't go well. Tony has played. So I put Kichi, Pepe's, two. Three was Javi. Four was Pancho. Then I said Alexis. Then I would say myself, and then Josh. That's the list. But the funnest to play with, Josh, number one. The funnest to play with. very entertaining. Please, very memorable quotes, very memorable moments with Josh. I wish I could post a lot of the things, but name all the best FIFA players you would invite for a Champions League style tournament. Oof. I feel like there's been a lot of talk lately, a lot of talk, still say, they're the best. Maybe that's something we need to do. Obviously, gotta be Pepe's in that tournament. Tony gotta be in that tournament. Myself, George, because George he always likes to talk. And I heard there's a little beef with George and Pancho. I've heard George beat Pancho, and Pancho thinks he's better than George. So I gotta put them in. Pam Pam, he was nice with it. Nene, we gotta throw in Nene in there. Another player I heard that's very good at Javi, I forgot Javi. Kichi, I heard he's one of the best FIFA players around here in Redwood City. I don't know if he lives in Redwood City, but that we know. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm calling out an invitation. George came back from a 3-0 deficit. George better. There you go. That's all I need to know. But I want to see where we really at. It's been a couple years because now we play the pro clubs. So I want to see where everyone's levels at, because there used to be battles. There used to be me and Tony had battles. Even in Madden, we had battles. Pepe's has always been a tough adversary. Nene, he's improved tremendously for when I first met him to now. I'll handle punch. Should we do attorney? Let's do attorney, George. 300 buy-in though. So if you can bring that, you in. I'm kidding. But I want to see it. I want to see where we're at, and we'll do the entrance. I think I saw on TikTok, they come in with the Champions League team. We'll make the bracket. I'll rank. Hey, I can rank them live, and people will be offended with the different ranking. FIFA 10, Jackson Martinez, Bania, George don't. There he is, Pancho. George don't got shit. That's what I'm saying. I want to see this. For March Madness. Let me work on this. I'll send out invites. I'll do the rankings, 1 through whatever. So don't get offended on your ranking, and we'll see who will reign supreme, in this FIFA tournament. I don't play as much like I used to, so maybe I won't be as good anymore, but run it. So start playing FIFA. Start playing FIFA, you guys. Sorry, EAFC. Start playing your EAFC. Start playing competitively on Foot Champs. Start learning what's OP, what's not. Yummy Burrito. Always invited Yummy Burrito wherever you are again. One of my favorite players to play on top with in pro clubs because very selfless player. All he wanted to do was make me score, make me look good. Yummy Burrito's always welcome. So give me Mario Kart Tourney. That's different breeds. But we could do FIFA, we can do Smash because the competitive, I feel it. The competitive juices are flowing. Mortal Kombat tournament. Maybe I can communicate with Shang Tsung, see if we can use his island for this tournament. But thank you guys. It's been an amazing show, an hour. I like the back and forth. All you guys right here, the 9 people, like it right now. Just like it. It takes not even a second. Like it. If you haven't subscribed, we threw away from 80, closing to 100. Once we get to 100, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Free torta from Casita Chilanga on me. And, you can eat it with me. So if we get to 100, I'll do that. Casita Chilanga. Bani, he's working on a banner for me on 5th Avenue to promote the show. So Bani, I appreciate that from you. But thank you again, guys. Thank you again. Like, subscribe if you're watching this later. And if, the end of the show, give away all your Chelsea jerseys. Chill, bro. Chill. Give away all your Cruz Azul 10 stars jerseys. Enjoy 31, my boy. Thank you. Like, subscribe. Thank you guys again. If you watch this later on, I gotta eat first, Pepe's, and yes, I'll do that, but I'm ready. Okay, Chiefs jersey, Tony. Oh, God. Let me get a 2014 World Cup champ Argentina jersey. How about that one? But thank you guys again. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Leave a question. show support. Follow the Instagram page, the Giojackson Show. Thank you guys. Peace out. Have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you all next week. Peace.